Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a new series that I wanted to start, kind of an extension of my newsletter. So here's the thing, if you're not on Substack, you should check it out and subscribe to it. And here we're going to talk about new movies that I've watched recently, films, anything that I've read, and maybe some marketing content. So let's get into the books first. I have only finished one, but I am in the midst of reading two others. The one that I did finish is Eden the Cheshire Cat. This book I found when I was browsing around Barnes & Noble, and it was the only one of its kind on the shelf, and there was little writing from the employee, and it was like, if you're interested in Southern culture and the movie Mean Girls. I love Mean Girls, one of my favorite movies, and Southern culture, sure. The book is based in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's a fiction book. It's about three young ladies, and also their mothers are involved. It is about revenge, cattiness, and drama, again from the mothers to the daughters. It's dark humor. It's a bit twisted. It will keep you reading for sure, and you know, it's just something, it's a fiction book, so it's just something to read. I really enjoyed this book. If you just want something to read, I would recommend. The first book that I'm actually currently reading, I'm actually enjoying. This is called Valley of the Dolls. It is written by Jacqueline Suzanne. It's based in like it was written in the 1960s. It is about a young girl who moves to New York. She's 21, and she just wants to get out of, I think she's from like Massachusetts or Connecticut, one of them, can't really remember. She just wants to get out of there and live a different life than people from her hometown. So she moves to the big city of New York, and there she starts working, and she meets a young man who wants to marry her, but she's not fully committed to him, and she has these bosses who are very, very wealthy, and one of them is interested in her. She is amongst all these rich people now. It is just a culture shock for her. She's learning all of these new things in the city of New York, and just imagine being from a smaller city and moving to New York and the access you gain just from moving there and meeting a man that wants to marry you, and he's rich and his family is wealthy, and it's fun. I'm probably about like 150 pages in. It's pretty thick, so this is definitely my winter read, and I'm enjoying it. Every page is like a page turner. There's always something going on. There's always drama. You're trying to figure out, is she gonna marry this man? Is she going to run off with her boss? Like, what is going to happen? So I am reading this right now. I am excited to see how it ends, and yeah, if you haven't read it, this is also like one of those classic books, so I would recommend. And the second book that I am currently reading, who would I be without a nonfiction psychology book? So this book is How to Know a Person, The Art of Seeing Others Deeply and Being Deeply Seen. I'm very big into relationships. I'm very big into communication. I'm always looking to better my relationships, whether that be platonic, romantic, or even through work. And this book right here is a good read if you're someone who wants to learn more about how to navigate relationships and the conversations you should be having, how to navigate conflict, and truly see someone for who they are by asking the appropriate questions. And of course with good intention and generosity, like being generally curious to know people. You have to like care about people to know them, or want to get to know them, and I think this is a good read. I've been enjoying it. I feel like some lessons I kind of already know. I went to school for communication, so we did kind of learn about this stuff, but also just somebody who's interested in psychology and relationships. I feel like there's some stuff in here that I haven't, you know, tapped into, or don't tap into as much, and it's just a reminder that, you know, you have to do this. You have to build these relationships, you have to nurture them, and this is how you do it. So if you want to learn more about that, I highly recommend this as well. Okay, now let's get into the movies. I have been a movie addict for the past month, and it has been keeping me sane. So typically during the week, I'm working, and then Friday nights I rather stay in the house on a Friday night and go out on a Saturday night. Friday nights, I've been turning on a movie, and I get my tea, and I light my candle, and I just put my phone in D&D, and I lock in, and it has been great. So I've been on a kick when it comes to movies, and these are just a couple that I've liked. One is Blink Twice. again, if you're not subscribed to me on Substack, you should absolutely do so. I spoke about this movie, and I spoke about it on Threads as well, and I saw some other people would chime in on the conversation. Blink Twice was so good. It is a psychological thriller. It is Zoe Kravitz's debut director role. So this movie is about, I had to look up the British actor. Her name is Naomi Ackie. So her and a group of friends, or a group of people actually, and they get invited by tech mogul who is Channing Tatum's Slater King. They get invited to this island, and it is just like, imagine all the fun you could ever have. So you're partying every day, you're fine whining, you're laying by the pool every day, but there comes a point in the movie where things just start getting weird. So I found this movie to have a deeper meaning, and from the, you know, actions and the phrases of the movie, you'll kind of catch on. And one of the phrases they use a lot is, aren't you having fun? And I think it is a way for, I think the deeper meaning is how people deal with trauma, and how a lot of the time we forget the trauma because we have to cope and be like, no, it's fine. No, I'm fine. Although in the movie you can see and hear people verbally say like, something's off. And I think it's a way to, we kind of manipulate situations because we're like, no, I feel uncomfortable, everybody else is having fun and enjoying themselves, so it must be okay. But that's not how life actually works. And even from the beginning scene, there is a warning scene that comes up, and you know, you can take that with caution to interpret some scenes. So I think it was a really good movie. I think it was a great debut director role for Zoe Kravitz. I am recommending it to everyone. I would say out of all the movies that I watched this month, that is one of my favorites. After watching that movie, it reminded me of Power and Dominance. And so I was interested. That one was more like the rich and the poor, the working class. And I was like, okay, what other movies kind of assert this same message? So I was interested in more so like love dynamics, I guess you can say. And one of the movies that came up was Sanctuary. It took me 2 weeks to watch this movie. Well, 2 Fridays. The first Friday I started it, I got like 30 minutes into it, and I was just so uncomfortable watching it. And it wasn't a bad movie, I was just uncomfortable. And so the second week I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try and watch it again, and we're gonna see how it goes. So I started it over. 45 minutes into it, I was like, okay, I'm over the discomfort. It's not bad, but what is going to happen? So I continued watching it, and you know, it was actually decent. I would recommend if you're into, like, it's kind of like 50 Shades of Grey, I guess. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time, but I feel like it's like that, but better. The cinematography is great. The storyline, that's what also took me a little while to catch on to. It's about like a CEO leader and a dominatrix, and interesting weather dynamic, and I don't know, I think it was enjoyable for what it was. Would I watch it again? Don't know if I do that, but I appreciate the art and I understand the message. So if you're interested in power dynamics and love and power, I would recommend checking out. The cinematography is really, really good. And the storyline, it took me like the second try to get it, but watch it and really pay attention and you will understand it and you might enjoy it. This is a movie I actually went into the theater to see. I haven't been to the movie theater since, I want to say like Creed 3 came out like 2 years ago. And the only reason I went on that was because I went on a date. I would never watch that movie. But I went to go see One of Them Days, you know, Lisa Ray's movie starring Keke Palmer and SZA. Me and my friend went, and it was so good. It was so funny. It was just one of those light-hearted, funny films that you need. It's like this generation's Friday. You know, you just need a good laugh, and that's what it provided, and that's what it was good for. The storyline was great. SZA killed her role, and it felt so natural for Keke and SZA to be in this buddy role together. I love Keke Palmer. I love her personality. I love how funny she is. Even watching the movie, some of the stuff, like some of the gestures she was doing, I just feel like that was her. It's very on key with who she is. And I loved it. 10 out of 10, 5 stars. 100%, you know, recommend watching this. You need a good belly laugh. This is what you need to watch one of them days. Okay, and the last movie I have to recommend is a classic film. I wanted to, so from the power dynamics to the, I also watched another movie early in the year and it was not good. I didn't think it was good. Another classic movie, I won't say. But from the power dynamics to a very funny movie, and then I was like, you know what? It's Valentine's Day weekend. Let me watch a romance movie. So I was like, let's watch a classic romance movie, one I've never seen before. And I watched Breakfast at Tiffany's starring Audrey Hepburn, and why have I never seen that movie? It was so good. I watched it twice in 48 hours. I enjoyed it so much. I see bits and pieces of me and Holly, and you know, it's just enjoyable. And for the time, I think it came out in 1961, I want to say. For the time period, I feel like it was very progressive. It was about a woman trying to take care of herself. She didn't need no man. Like, it was good for that time period as well. But her acting, there were some intense scenes where it was like she's crying, she's ready to fight, like she's breaking down. It was not one point in the movie where I was like, man, I'm not believing this. So this is corny. No, it felt like a really sincere role for her. Like, she really practiced for that role, and it was great. I enjoyed it. I love the storyline. I love his name is, she keeps calling him Fred. That's her brother's name. His name is Paul. I loved his character as well because I feel like all he wanted to be was a friend to her, and you know, it worked out, you know. But if you've never seen Breakfast at Tiffany's, highly recommend. I might actually watch it a third time, I'm not even gonna lie. It was just that good. All right guys, that is all that I have to talk about right now. The books that I've read and the movies that I've watched. If you go and check out any of these that I recommend, please leave a comment down below and let me know. Let me know what you think. If you've already watched any of these movies or read any of these books, let me know what you thought. I'm definitely turning this into a series. I built my bookshelf, so I'm super excited to like have this new setup, and I can't wait. I'm gonna name it. We don't know what we're gonna name this corner series, but I'm gonna name it, and we're gonna keep doing these and checking in with you all. Again, if you are not already subscribed to my Substack, please go and do so. I talk about books, media, film, marketing, because I work in marketing, give you little life updates, and I talk about upcoming events that I would be interested in going to. You can follow me at javonalexandra.substack.com. Again, thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, and we'll speak soon. Bye.